give us the on. Okay, you're on air now.
All right. Again, I'd just like to thank all of you for coming out and taking the time to hear this brief, and as well as taking time to sign the charter for Scabbard and Blade. And without further ado, we'll get started right away. When discussing JROTC, I always like to describe it as really a school within a school. We have our very own administration, our very own code of conduct, our very own clubs and organizations within us, as well as our own curriculum, of course. All of this to accomplish a single mission: motivate young people to become better citizens. But what is it specifically about our program that really accomplishes that mission? Is it our rules that install discipline, our events and organizations that give our cadets experience, our curriculum that defines leadership? I believe it's all of these things because they represent one thing entirely: opportunity. If there's one thing that junior ROTC does not lack, it is that of opportunity, and finding new ways to give opportunity to our cadets in our program, as well as students in high school environments. Scabbard and Blade is a brand new avenue for opportunity for our advanced leaders and for all cadets in the program. For the purpose, our mission for Scabbard and Blade is simple: provide high quality leadership development curriculum through instructional leaders with advanced tools and advanced strategies. And in doing so, we will create a body of leaders who are competitive in academics, leadership, and that of community service. As you can see, and as you know, our program is vast. 8 battalions, nearly 1,300 cadets. Some of these cadets separated by nearly 2 hours minding Atlanta traffic reports. And as of right now, there's one thing that binds us all together. We are a warrior brigade. Thank you for joining. We are the warrior brigade, cadets joined in arms. But we are young, and we face challenges as a young brigade, that of providing effective communication and that of providing effective leadership. And as brigade leaders, we had to figure out a way to meet these challenges, to rise above them and really provide opportune success for our cadets, which is exactly where Scabbard and Blade provide that opportunity for us to succeed. Students, our cadets who are able to join in this program, will be able to meet periodically in seminars where they can openly discuss with their cadets and leaders in their program to find solutions and also to discuss challenging problems that we face in ROTC. And in doing so, creating an environment that truly inspires great leadership. Because as some of our brigade missions is wanting to create a new environment for ROTC cadets, an environment that truly inspires all of our cadets to reach for success. And in doing so, we want to reach everyone, not just from the normal brigade hierarchy down to our subordinate leaders, but reaching every single member of our organization.
Sir, if I could just provide a point of clarification real quick. When he speaks of the brigade structure, we talked about the leadership acceleration. Each one of the school-based programs has an organization that's referred to as battalion. It parallels the battalion structure on an Army level. Okay. Brigade provides the command and control and oversight. Basically, parish parallels all of that actions and things that I drive from the district level as a district leader. He provides that at the student level.
Yeah, and each of these schools have their own battalions. Each Roswell High School, they have their battalions. Centennial, North Springs.
And is there some function is there some organization that you come together at across the?
Yes, and that has been a lot of our goals for this year. As a young brigade, this will be our second year really as a whole brigade. And as some of our challenges is uniting us more as a brigade, and that is exactly what we're trying to aim for with this program, is really trying to provide unity within our program. And as you'll see, these leaders who come into this program will be able to meet in these seminars to get higher training in that of leadership development. Will be able to go back to their schools, and that will be what they're tasked with. How will they take the same philosophy that they learned in their Scabbard and Blade programs and apply it to every single one in their battalion level, in their battalions? That way, leadership is not just at the top, but then dispersed all throughout the season. Yeah, of course. We're providing this. Should I wait? Okay, go. All right. By providing this, cadets will be tasked, like I said, with going back to the battalions and taking the same thing that they learned in their seminars and giving it back to the students on a lower level in their battalions. So that way we can reach from the highest ranking officer to the lowest ranking enlisted. And by doing such, we create winning culture. As these cadets, who are members of Scabbard Blade, are discover new ways of defining leadership, new ways of providing leadership, and understanding how they can better impact the students and the cadets around them, we'll create a winning culture, not just on the brigade level, but on every single level of echelon in our leadership. It will go all the way from the bottom, all the way to the top, thus creating an entire atmosphere of success. Now, some of these advanced leadership philosophies will be that, and not exactly what is leadership, but why do we provide leadership? Why do we as leaders take the time to really be a part of an organization such as Scabbard Blade? Why are we the top 10%? Why do we push ourselves to truly be in this position? Because as leaders, we are self-sacrifice. We do not do things for our own accord. Even knowing we might be recognized for it, that is not what we do it for. We do it, of course, for the opportunity for all cadets. Here you can see our 5 fundamentals. This will be what our advanced leadership philosophies are based on, that of honor, leadership, professionalism, officership, and especially unity. Key here, unity. We want to make sure that our brigade is bound together as one singular unit that really aspires to achieve greatness. As I said, our mission is to provide advanced leadership development for our advanced leaders through the use of instructions, advanced tools and strategies. But the goals is what Colonel Hurd and I are truly going after. So we bring these advanced leadership philosophies down to every single rank. We really start to promote an understanding from military in our society, promote unity and synergy within all of our battalions, and really be able to understand why it is that we are in JROTC. Not because we just do this because we feel like it, but because we really want to create success and opportunities for our cadets to succeed. Here you can just kind of see an outline. What we focus on right there is student achievement, leader development, and character development. Those main big things right there. Because our advanced leaders, where they are, just need a little bit more. Just a little bit more development, understanding why they're here in this position. That way, it can go down to every single level of JROTC. It goes back to our service learning, to our community service, team building, how we solve our problems, and it helps us reinforce the JROTC curriculum, not just so that we understand what leadership is, but why we provide leadership. Oh, sorry. Can you just do that?
Sure.
I clicked it just a little bit too hard. Just click that last
All right.
slide. Thank you. So right here, this is just a nice little outline for what exactly will be happening as we go into the second semester. Of course, today will be our charter signing for this great event, but it's going to set up a lot for what will be happening in the future. Next week, we've already started opening up applications for members to join in. The application is rigorous. Usually you have to get recommendations from your SCIs, AIs. You need to be in the top 10% of your JROTC class, and that top 20% of your class as well.
So that's it's a pretty tight group.
Yes, it is.
You can get one or the other. You can't get, it's not either or. It's both, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, and these are and the reason is we're really going for those advanced leaders. But even then, an SAI, because we open this up to every single cadet. A lot of times, the best leader in the room sometimes really isn't the smartest one. Usually it depends on, how they communicate, how they relate with others, and that makes up a lot of leadership. It's not always about, how quickly can you solve this problem, but how do you go about solving that problem? So a lot of times, we open up the doors for, other members to join who really go above and beyond. I know plenty of cadets in my program who, really show how much they really care for the program, but, maybe they don't do that well in their classes for whatever reason. And that's something in ROTC that we inspire them, reach up for. That way you can be in a program such as this. Now, as they get back their letters, these letters will just basically describe, what is going to be expected of them in this program, what will be their requirements, and of course, whether or not they choose to accept these requirements. And they will email back Colonel Hurd in their letters, declaring whether or not they will be non-members. From pretty much March to April, it's going to be hard work for our brigade staff, planning out how we're going to do our meetings, how we're going to set up appropriate times for our seminars. And we're going to actually implement a bit of technology. With this program, we're really going to aim for upwards to anywhere from 50 to 150 cadets, possibly in this program. And that can be very difficult logistically on getting all those people together, especially as you saw that map, spread hours apart. For a possible solution for how we might conduct the seminars, when schools have their members of Scabbard Blades, there'll be an official leader for that group or that population of Scabbard Blade members who will hook up via let's say Google Hangouts or some type of conference room app, and those leaders in, say, a nice conference room like this or in a classroom of their own can all hook up to a single main source that will provide the education, the teaching, and allow them to openly communicate with all members.
And it's very similar to what you guys are currently doing. Because in addition to Parrish being the commander of all of the JROTC cadets, he actually has a staff as well, functional staff, where he has someone that focuses on personnel matters. He's got a communications officer, operations officer, and so they have all those different dimensions of an organization that parallel what's actually happening at the school base. But he's been conducting, along with the staff, virtual meetings, using the Hangout and different capabilities. So we're really negating a lot of those challenges that are thrown up in front of us.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and that was a challenge from last year that we were trying to meet, was how to provide more meetings for our brigade staff to meet, and that was how we utilized technology. But I'm a little old-fashioned in my leadership, and just how I don't believe that cadets in front of a computer screen get that same type of feeling of vigor when they're in a real system, when they're all actually physically together. So there are times when I will have us meet up somewhere in the middle in Atlanta. That's kind of middle for us to meet. That way we can really get a face-on-face time, and that's exactly where we're going to go with Scabbard Blade as well. We don't want to just be limited technology, because I don't want any, or Colonel Hurd and I don't want to miss any opportunity to reach out to cadets and really fully create that environment of success and of wanting to create greatness. So here we'll have our candidate initiation. We also have a dodgeball, where North Springs will be having a dodgeball competition as one of their launch events for our next event, our JRC 100th anniversary 5K run. But here we're going to have a lot of time to meet up with these individuals one-on-one, so that we can really focus on why they're in this program. It's going to be a workshop on team building and really understanding you've made it this far, you're an advanced leader in your program, you're now a member of Scabbard Blade. What does that mean? What is the expectation now? What are you really going to have to do to really set the example that says Scabbard Blade? And they'll be tasked with taking that back to the battalion and sharing that same knowledge. They have to understand that as leaders, they have to be able to disperse this to their followers. And their followers need to be able, and them as being leaders need to be able to motivate their followers to truly take what JRC mission is and really take it to heart and want to push it to greatness. And of course, as I was saying, a lot of this will be helping with our next events as we go on, as we start planning for our 5K run. That's going to be a great event, and that's where we hope to really utilize some of that utilize some key leadership and how we will how we will plan and operate our systems. And then our last event, Leadership Honors and Recognition Ceremony for May 7th, that will be another opportunity for Scabbard and Blade to meet all together, as well as other advanced leaders in our program. And that will just be kind of an honors ceremony, really recognizing them for their hard work. And this will be where we set up for next year's brigade staff, because most of brigade staff is seniors, and we'll be leaving our positions behind. But we want to ensure that we don't leave behind, or we don't take with us the goals that we were trying to accomplish. As you know, as leadership changes, philosophies change and direction changes. And we want to make sure that direction, we don't step back on ourselves, because as seniors leave, that knowledge leaves with them, completely gone. Scabbard and Blade will be able to hold on to that knowledge forever. Generations and generations of leaders coming through will not just be seniors, but also sophomores, juniors, all the way to seniors. And this will be the pool for our leadership, for pooling new leaders for brigade staff. That way our missions and our goals for wanting to create unity, synergy will always be in existence.
Colonel, is this program recognized by ROTC in college?
Yes, sir. Actually, it's a national organization, national honors organization, and I was a member when I was in college. About 5 years ago, they started an initiative for the junior programs, and I was speaking with the executive national director, and if I'm not mistaken, we're the third JROTC program to get established. But just a great opportunity for the students to challenge themselves. And
So I'm just wondering, Cadet here is a member. He goes to North Georgia. Does that earn him a
his
higher
affiliation
ranking?
carries over.
But does that earn him a higher ranking going into?
No, sir. He'll still have to prove himself as part of that program.
But that helps.
But yes, it does help, and I wouldn't necessarily say there's any assurance or anything like that.
But it helps.
But definitely having the opportunity to present information at venues like this, and the more we do that, they get exposure. But definitely, it helps.
There will be an expectation from him once he show up to the college, because he is in the Scabbard.
Sure. You're carrying it on.
Expectation is what's going to take place when he gets there. That's the honor he's going to get. That's any one of the
And this, and just like I said earlier, providing opportunity. This is just a beautiful resume filler for advancing leaders who really want to distinguish themselves when they're going to looking for colleges or looking for scholarships. This just really rings big. But as you were asking, when you go to college, as you transfer from junior ROTC, let's say, as I may be a brigade commander here on this level, but as I go to college, I go right back to just being a private, just right the ranks, and that's humbling for leaders, I believe, in teaching them.
I'm going to say one thing. When you started the freshman year in ROTC, your leadership was gone. They left. They went to college, and so he had to figure out how does it stay within the high school once our leaders leave, because he kind of felt abandoned from the senior that